experience.
Yes? This will help a lot. If I just link, I find the correlation between the text and what I studied during the year. Yeah? Okay.
Okay, so Rida, something else students often ask their teachers whether to read the text first or question first.
Yeah, Mohammed, what do you usually do?
I think the optimal approach to this issue is to read the text first. At least that's how I view things.
Yeah.
You read the text first, and then you check the questions. You read the questions, each one of them, and then you read the text again, because the questions are, at the end of the story, these what are you asked for. So the first reading is, you're going to look what the text is generally talking about. And then when you're reading the question, your brain is just going to focus on the information you're asked for.
Yeah.
So you're specifically looking for these information in your second or maybe even a third read. But the second read after you have seen the questions is very crucial. You're just gonna focus on the tasks you've given.
Okay, and you, Safa, what do you think?
I totally agree with Mohammed. That's the way I do things as well. The second read helps you to repair details you need to answer the questions.
Okay, I think that some pupils, and I have an example because a few days ago I talked to a pupil called Zainab, and she said that she usually reads the questions before, and it is working for her. I don't know how, but it works. It said. Some people say that it works. And I hope that Zainab is listening to me now, because I want to tell her something. There is no harm when you read the text. And if your mark usually ranges from 7 to 9, as you said, aim for 11 and 12 if you read the text first. Because the questions are meant to trap you, and you will waste maybe sometimes, maybe Salah will explain more how questions can really mislead you. After all, the test designer doesn't mean by making or suggesting these questions to make you understand the text. It is to trap you. The questions are tricky. Yeah?
Yeah, so logically, yeah, okay, we should familiarize ourselves with the passage first. If, for example, you don't do so, looking for answers will become not only time-consuming, but also dangerous, because you might miss the context of the answer, as Rida has just said. So you are looking for some answers, for correct answers. Okay, so the questions are tricky. Okay, so logically we should read, okay, the text first. Then you shouldn't try to limit yourself to only reading the passage one time, okay? So sometimes you are going to need to read it twice, 3 times or more. Why not? And sometimes some students say, okay, I read the text, and then after that I have understood nothing, okay? So don't panic. Don't panic if it seems you have understood nothing after the first reading. This is normal. The other reading will enable you to understand it.
Yeah, okay, so by and large, if you read the questions first, you will only confuse yourself and lose valuable time. Do you agree with me?
Yes, to an extent, yes.
Yes,
So
when reading the questions first, I think when I used to do this, I find myself trying to guess what the text is about and losing time.
Yeah.
okay, so and you lose the main thing. Okay, so now, Rida, we come to our main focus today, guessing meaning from context. Obviously, you don't have a dictionary in the exam. So there are likely to be some words from the reading text that you don't understand and you cannot check. Okay?
So find, Muhammad, do you wish, when you read the text, not to find difficult words?
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Now, what do you usually do if you find a difficult word? Because usually questions, you should okay, understand and figure out that the questions are about tricky or uncommon vocabulary. It's not about any vocab.
Reread the sentence or even the paragraph. Try to get the meaning, understand the context.
Yeah, I mean, at this point it goes without saying that you just have to look for the context and what the author wants to say in that specific passage or context.
Okay. Okay, so yes, what you have just said is correct. Use context clues around the word to figure out the meaning. Only do this for words that seem important for an understanding of the text. If it looks like they are not, then leave it and move on with the reading. You probably won't have time to do it with every word. This is normal. Even, for example, when we are reading a text in Arabic, even though it is our mother language, we come across some words that we don't know.
Exactly.
But we shouldn't stop there and say, of course, this is going to hinder my understanding.
But don't forget, we are not going to stop for every single word. In that case, I think we will never finish reading a text. That is, just focus on the words. You think they are key words in the text. Words that can help you to understand the overall idea of the text, the essence of the text. Okay? Okay. So, so I think we'll see some examples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So get ready with a pen and a sheet of paper if you would like, okay, to share with us, okay, the examples that we are going to use here. We'll be back after a short break, so stay with us.
To meet you, tell you I'm sorry. You don't know how lovely you are. I had to find you, tell you I need you, tell you I'll set you apart.
Tell me your secrets and ask me your questions. Oh, let's go back to the start. Running in circles, coming up tails, heads on our sides apart. Nobody said it was easy. Oh, it's such a shame for us to part. Said it was easy. No one ever said it would be this hard. Oh, take me back to the start. Figures, pulling your puzzles apart. Questions of science, science and chasing our tails, coming back as we are. Nobody said it was easy.
Oh, it's such a shame for us to part.
Nobody said it was easy. No one ever said it would be so hard. I'm going back to the start.
Here we are again, Rida. Yes, with the first example.
Yeah, but we are not going to take them back to the start, but to continue.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
So, just to remind them, our listeners and Muhammad and Safa here, what guessing means. It means working out from the words that are around it or from the topic of the paragraph, the meaning of certain words.
Yeah.
And we are going to deal with some examples, simple examples, okay? But they can give us an idea about guessing.
Yeah, so Rida, simple strategies as what we are going to suggest later will help our students, okay, guess the meaning or try to guess the meaning and never panic whenever they do not understand the meaning of a word. Okay? As we said here, they should overlook some words, but try to guess just the words that are key words to the understanding of the text. So the first example, Rida, can you read it?
So, if you are listening to me, the first example is, I have got an interview tomorrow and I am dreading it. The word we are looking for is dreading. D-R-E-A-D-I-N-G. Full stop. I'm thinking, I am thinking of, not going. I repeat, I've got an interview tomorrow and I'm dreading it. I'm thinking of not going. So, what does dreading mean in this sentence?
In this sentence, okay. And what clues can help you to guess the meaning, Muhammad and Safa?
Well, to make things clear, I want you to trust me that I really do not know the meaning of these words, and I didn't use the internet or anything like that to try and guess what these words can mean.
Okay.
So the first thing I'm seeing here is that we have two sentences, and I'm thinking of making some sort of relationship between these two sentences. So we have here, I've got an interview and I'm dreading it. Then I'm thinking of not going. The most reasonable relationship I can make between these two sentences is basically explanation. The second sentence just explains the first one. So you can actually find the meaning of the word, if I'm correct, in the second sentence, which is basically, it can potentially mean postponing it or simply just ditching it.
Okay. Safa.
I think I will. The detail I'm thinking of not going can help to guess the meaning. It is hesitating or
Yeah.
such meaning,
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah. Look, I think one thing quite important, it is to consider the sentence tone. Is it positive or negative? It's very, very important. So when you read these sentences, what do you think? The tone is positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative. Okay? So I will get choices.
I'm sorry, but
Okay.
for me it's kind of hard to get the tone. I mean, if you please explain what does the tone of the sentence even mean, because
No, like, the tone of the sentence. Yeah. I've got an interview tomorrow. I'm dreading it. Full stop. I have almost no hint, no clue to understand. Yeah. I'm thinking of not going. So an interview, someone who is looking, for example, for a job. Okay? And maybe this is an opportunity for him or her, okay, to get that job, and decides not to go. What do you think? Is it positive or negative?
I think it's negative. Yeah.
That's it. Okay?
That's it.
We settle on, okay, on this thing. That is, it is negative. So when I get choices in the back exam, I try to eliminate. Okay? Eliminate what? The thing which is positive. I feel it is positive in the choices, because you sometimes find opposites. Okay? Opposites. That is, especially for words, you find a synonym and you find
The antonym.
the antonym. Or you find an explanation. Okay?
Yes.
And this explanation or this word can be positive or negative. So if we give you choices.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
example, if we give you A, anxious and worried. B, excited. C, fearless. Okay, I repeat, anxious and worried, excited, fearless. Which one, as Rida has just said, to eliminate from the beginning?
B.
So
B
how-
and C.
Yeah?
Eliminate B.
Yeah.
B,
And
okay,
Excited is out.
excited. Yeah?
Now C.
C as well, because
Why? Because.
having an interview and thinking not to.
Yeah, I
go.
must understand, because we have here
Fearless is a positive
we have a
word.
suffix, fearless. That is less. What does it mean? LESS.
Not being.
Not
afraid.
being free from. Yes or no? That
Without,
is free
yeah.
from fear. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you see here, I rely on the first thing. It is to eliminate the most obvious one, which cannot be used at all. This is exciting. And then, fearless. What's the difference between fearless and fearful? Okay? So,
Well, they're opposite words.
yeah, okay, sometimes because even with less, fearless, sometimes priceless, not free from price.
Yeah.
That is, okay?
Yeah.
No price.
Yeah. So I have to consider sometimes prefixes or suffixes used.
The meaning of-
Especially in the meaning, especially with the prefixes, because prefixes have meanings. Yes or no? Each
Yes.
prefix
Has
has
got a meaning, yes.
So sometimes the prefix can decide the meaning of a word, as well as a suffix. Okay?
So what remains then?
It is
Okay.
anxious and
Worried.
Worried. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so we move with example 2, Rida. The work is tedious. There is nothing I find interesting about it. I repeat again.
I repeat, the work is tedious. There is nothing I find interesting about it. Can you repeat it, sir?
Okay, so we said here the work is tedious. There is nothing I find interesting about it. We are looking, okay, for tedious. Okay? The meaning of tedious.
Yeah. So tedious. T-E-D-I-O-U-S. Now, Safa, which maybe hints or clues can help here?
Nothing I find interesting about it.
About it, yeah.
Nothing interesting. Mohammed.
Well, following the same strategy that we have done in the first one, we have a negative tone to the sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So tedious should have a negative meaning. So I would guess it's either boring, tiring, unexciting, things like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, choices here.
Yes.
Huh? The alternatives suggested.
A, hard. B, boring. C, challenging.
Why not hard?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Okay? Yeah. Why not hard?
So, first of all, we're going to eliminate C from this.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Challenging.
not even an option.
Mhm.
Challenging. Huh? To test your ability. Something challenging that tests your ability. So I think
It's interesting.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
That's the word. It is
Yes.
interesting.
We should look for an opposite word that have an opposite meaning of interesting to replace tedious.
Now, if the thing is interesting and it is hard, will you give in? Or will you continue doing it?
Yes.
Of course.
You persevere. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
It
The word
makes
is interesting.
things more interesting.
Okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, if we decide, as I said, we decide whether the tone is positive or negative, first of all. And then, in the multiple choice, if there's something ambiguous, I come back to the sentence and try to see the difference.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you see here that you have eliminated challenging, okay?
Yes.
The clue you found that it's the word interesting, so the meaning of tedious is,
So as Muhammad said, it is
yeah,
I think it's boring.
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 Okay,
Yeah,
good.
it is boring.
Yeah. Yeah, Rida.
So now, how we can guess meaning within a whole paragraph?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the sentence itself, or the sentence before and the sentence after, cannot help. So, how can we guess the meaning within a context, the whole context? Always, as I said, consider whether the tone is positive or negative. Now, what's a paragraph in English? Do you have an idea?
I don't think I can define a paragraph.
Okay.
Set
So
of
far.
sentences.
Of course, it is set
the
of
same
sentences. Same what?
theme. Or
Same theme. Or can you change theme by
Uh,
a topic? Can you change a topic by another thing? Because it is, when we talk about a topic, we talk about the whole text,
The
I
whole
think.
text, yeah.
Maybe sometimes,
An
okay, a
idea.
paragraph
Idea.
talks about idea.
Yes.
That's why I think we talk a lot about topic sentence. A paragraph in English is made up of one idea.
Mm-hmm.
And all other sentences are details to support the main idea of the paragraph. Okay? Now, where can we find the
Topic
sentence?
sentence.
at the beginning.
Usually, very often, where?
Yeah, very often.
At the beginning.
Yeah, the first sentence.
first
of course.
sentence, yes.
It is the first. But sometimes you can find it in the middle,
In
or,
the middle, yeah.
okay, of a paragraph. Or even the last sentence. Sometimes can be the topic,
The topic
sentence.
But usually it is
Usually,
the first.
very often, it is the first
it
sentence.
is the first sentence.
So if I understand the first sentence and I understand the main idea of the paragraph, do you think this can help me? Can help me to guess the words within the paragraph itself?
I think this goes without saying. I mean, it's obvious that it will.
Yeah, without a shade of doubt.
Yeah, without
That
any
will-
doubt,
yeah.
of course.
Okay, it will help a lot. Now I think Salah will
Yeah.
read.
So, the paragraph, I'm going to read it little by little so you can write it down. The government has proposed raising tax consumption from 10% to 15% to help fund is F-U-N-D, help fund countries' future health needs. Full stop. The proposed tax rise will only exacerbate, spelling E-X-A-C-E-R-B-A-T-E, exacerbate financial problems for low-income earners. Would you repeat this, Rida?
Okay, so the government has proposed raising tax consumption for 10% to 15% to help fund countries' future health needs. The proposed tax rise will only exacerbate financial problems for low-income earners.
And here we are looking for the meaning of exacerbate.
Obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. So which clues can help you find the meaning of this word?
First of all,
So,
This-
is it positive or negative?
Yeah.
First of all, let's come back. Huh?
I think it's negative.
It is negative.
Why? Why is it negative?
The first sentence seems like the government tries to find solutions, but we will only exacerbate problems. It has a negative tone.
Every
Okay, so
time you
and,
find the word tax,
Raising
And
tax
tax,
is
I
not,
take
is not something good. Okay, it's not
in any part
something
of the world, people
welcome.
do not like tax. Huh?
here I think for me it's the most indicating clue is the will only, because this expression means it indicates that something bad's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
It's like this will only lead to a certain thing, which is usually something bad. So I'm gonna guess that exacerbate means something bad. And the other thing is that this might be a little funny, but the sound of the word actually can indicate something like exacerbate. There's this
Linguistic.
there's this I'm not sure, but there's this
It's
thing
not
that's
friendly
going
word.
is
Uh-huh.
it's
No,
like
maybe,
a
yes,
flow, something that's going higher. So I think that's what I'm gonna go for. Like go higher. I mean peak.
Intensify.
Yeah, things like that.
Okay, let's see. Okay, the alternatives: decrease, weaken, and worsen.
Yeah, which word you are going to eliminate?
Can you repeat, please?
Decrease, weaken, and worsen.
The two last words or options. Are-
Decrease is out.
What?
Decrease is out. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, you eliminate decrease. It's okay.
Yeah.
So weaken or worsen? Only weaken financial problems.
No, don't.
Weaken.
Doesn't sound.
It's
It
Doesn't
fit the
stand.
context.
Doesn't sound.
the meaning, even
huh?
the meaning. Even
Correct.
if we consider that if it fits linguistically and
Collocation.
grammatically,
Okay, so
even if we agree that we're gonna accept, even if it's not a collocation, we're gonna accept this word if it means something. But then if we put weaken, what does weaken a problem mean?
yeah,
Right.
that's it. Okay, so it doesn't stand. It doesn't sound correct.
Then we have worsen. Worsen a problem is to make it more grave.
Okay,
Yeah,
Add
yeah,
gravity to
worse,
it.
yeah.
yeah.
So I think A is the correct choice.
Mm-hmm. Decrease.
See you.
No, it's
Worse.
So we said...
worsen.
Ah,
No,
worsen.
is out.
Okay, yes.
Worsen, right?
He's talking about weaken and worsen. Okay?
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. Why worsen and not weaken?
Mm-hmm.
Because the first thing we do it is always to eliminate the thing which is quite obvious. Okay? So, just to sum up this first part, what can we say?
Okay, so you see here that we've been talking about guessing meaning from context. That is here trying, okay, to find meaning of difficult words that might impede our understanding of the text. Okay, so we said first we have to decide how much we need to answer reading comprehension questions. Then read the text first and ask oneself questions that help create a text map. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Then we talked about guessing the meaning of keywords in the text from the words that are around and from the topic of the paragraph.
Yeah, so I think it is high time we talked about the types of questions designed for back exams.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have two types of questions. Questions that deal with the main idea and questions that deal with details within the text.
The text, yeah.
Okay? Now maybe one important thing, it is to read the questions carefully, because sometimes pupils do not read the questions. An example for false statements. Sometimes pupils find the correct answer and they put no.
Yeah. But
The
it
question is
said that-
false.
Yeah, it is false.
It is false. Yeah, it is false. They tell you false statements, so why no? Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Second thing, and very often pupils miss it, the fact that in some blanks you are asked to put just one single word per blank. So not 2 words or 3 words. Just if it is one word, not more. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So we have two types of questions. Now, we are going to see first of all, okay,
Yeah.
questions dealing with the main
Idea.
idea.
Yeah.
It can be, first of all, tick the right title of the text.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you've got usually 3 choices.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Ah. How we design these,
3 choices.
these 3
okay.
choices. Usually one, it is about the main idea and the 2 other options about
Details.
detail in the
Details.
text or part of the text.
Yeah.
It's not
So
all
see which one talks about
all the whole text.
the whole text and not a detail in the text. Okay?
Maybe a strategy that we can adopt, okay, when trying to find the main idea of the text is would just check the beginning and the end of the passage and see if any ideas seem to repeat. Okay, this is probably the main point of the piece. Okay, so sometimes, okay, in the beginning of the text, okay, and we read an idea, and then after that, at the end of the text, we find that this idea is repeated. Okay, so maybe this is the main idea of the text. Okay, so as you said here, 3 choices, 1 choice about the main idea and the other choice is about details. So your reading of the beginning and the end of the text, okay, may help you find, okay, which is which.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I think also, if you ask yourself some questions before you start reading the text, who did what?
And who said
And
what?
who said what? This will help a lot. Because usually we find in text a story, rarely do they give descriptive texts. That is, there is something, there is a story. The text should be expository most of the time. And I know that descriptive is part of an expository text, but it can be narrative, it can be argumentative, okay? But descriptive text, I don't remember in my whole career that they gave a descriptive, just descriptive text.
Yeah.
Okay?
There
Can be
must
informative,
okay.
argumentative, descriptive, informative, descriptive. Okay? But descriptive text, I don't remember.
Yes. Me
One
too.
day they suggested the descriptive text.
Yeah.
So there must be a story. We must understand the story of the text, okay? And as we said here, don't, of course, try to read just once the text, okay? You read twice, 3 times, and you will get the main idea.
Yeah, I think what we talked about, the appropriate title can be about also the main idea of the text. This is another tick. The alternative that best maybe sums up the main idea in the text. Okay, another thing which is quite difficult, Salah, it is to fill in a brief summary with words from the text.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, words from the text, that is not your own words. Okay? Here you have to read the whole text, because words are not taken from just one paragraph. If it is from one paragraph, they will, okay?
Mention
you will be
that,
told
okay, yes.
that it is from one paragraph. Okay? But here it is about
The whole
the whole
text.
text. Okay. So, as we said, you have to read the question carefully, whether it is you fill in the blanks with one word or expressions.
Okay, so Rida, here, these words should be taken as they are. That is, here, students don't have the right to change.
Sometimes.
Okay, yes.
Sometimes they
Only
change.
if they are...
Yes. Sometimes they change, but even if
they are
you
told,
make
okay?
grammar mistakes, okay? Even if you make grammar mistakes or spelling mistakes in the reading comprehension, okay, you will not be penalized for this. Grammar and spelling mistakes are tolerated in comprehension, because the aim is to see whether the pupil has really understood, okay, something in a text. Clear? And we do not punish pupil twice, even a criminal. That is because spelling mistakes and grammar mistakes are considered in writing.
In writing and in the language part.
Yeah, and in the
Yes.
language
Yes.
also. Okay?
Yeah.
So, we give an example. Can you write down this short paragraph? The paragraph. A woman was told yesterday. A woman was told yesterday to remove reference to her daughter from her CV to improve her chances of finding a job in the city. An employment tribunal was told yesterday. We cannot give a whole text, because
of course.
but we consider this paragraph, and we are given, okay, a short, maybe summary or sentences about
This paragraph.
This paragraph.
About this paragraph. I read again.
Yes.
Or can you, Sarah, if you...
Okay. A woman was told yesterday to remove a reference to her daughter from her CV to improve her chances of finding a job in the city. An employment tribunal was told yesterday.
Okay, so look, this is maybe the exercise suggested. Ms. Winship was to delete the line. To delete the line. So, delete, is there any synonym in the paragraph? I read again. Woman was told yesterday to remove a reference to her daughter.
Remove.
Huh?
Remove.
Delete, yeah. Remove.
Yeah. Delete the line on her. Remove a reference to her daughter from her CV.
So the answer must be, because we have a synonym in the first sentence, the answer should be in that sentence we have mentioned.
Yeah, so which one? A woman was told yesterday to remove a reference to her daughter from her CV.
To improve her chances of
To
finding a
delete
job.
the line on her, a line on her what?
My best guess is CV.
Yeah, CV, of course.
That's
huh?
it.
And you're right. That she had a... What did she have?
What is mentioned here in the paragraph? Yeah.
A woman was told yesterday to remove a reference to her daughter from her CV to
Yeah.
improve her chances of finding a job in the city. So she had a
It's clear. A daughter. Yeah.
daughter. She had a daughter.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm kind of nervous.
Nowadays
So
it is very difficult to get a
sometimes-
job.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Let alone have a daughter. Yeah? Okay. That she had a daughter. As it could ruin her employment what?
Chance.
Chances. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
chances. Okay? So that's it. That is, I have to fill in the blanks with 3 words. The 3 words from
The text.
the text. Okay?
Yeah.
Not your own words. Yeah, sometimes you are asked to change the form of the word. That is, from a noun to a verb, from an adjective to an adverb. But always, I try to see, okay, the
word from
Hints.
the text. Okay.
consider the hints from the context.
But
Okay.
I think it's usually just quote the word and
Yes, that's
Yes.
it.
like
Yeah.
Okay, so
90% of
take
the
it as
time
it
is you
is,
just
yeah,
take the
yeah.
word and put it
Now,
in the
maybe
right
you
place.
mentioned something quite important, Mohammed. Okay, most questions. Okay, in the back exam, you quote from the text, please. Huh?
This is a good one.
Yes, it is a good one, an easy one. Huh?
Note it down.
Yeah, you quote. Really, you quote. Only if you are asked to give your maybe your opinion about the text, or you are asked to paraphrase something. But for the rest, it is you quote. Please quote from the text. You see how easy it is.
Okay. So
comprehension.
yes, that's what makes a
I'm
reading
telling you this,
comprehension
but
easy.
both my teachers know my story with this quote from the text. I
Yeah.
mean, I think both of them know that I don't often use this until like the past 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
And believe me when I say it's very beneficial, like to a point where I cannot really describe how beneficial it is. I mean, it's intuitive. You just quote. You don't have to do much more.
No interpretation.
Yeah, no
Interpretation. You don't have to change.
Yes, and
you don't have to do anything.
And you run no risk at all.
Yeah, and the best
It is
part.
sometimes
Okay.
because
So have you changed
you-
this habit?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
yes, of course. I mean,
Yes,
no.
of course.
nobody's gonna judge you about it.
Yeah.
You're gonna write in better English even.
Yeah, okay. I think so, Mohammed. Okay? So, because when we sometimes, okay, we paraphrase, we may, okay, misunderstand, or we read between the lines, and you are not asked to read between the lines. We will talk about, for example, next time
Next
about
time,
false
yes.
statements. And the question is detail from the text. So if it is detail from the text, why should I
Bother
paraphrase
myself. Okay.
the sentence?
Yeah.
Now it doesn't mean that it is not acceptable. They accept sometimes. But since it is a detail, so I must, okay, respect the instructions within the exam. It's very, very important. Okay? Yeah. So the first part of questions concerning the main idea, circle the title or tick the alternative that's best,
appropriate, yes.
or it can be a short paragraph in which you are
Paragraph,
asked to fill in the blanks with words from
From the
From the
from the
text,
text.
okay?
Read
Yes.
whether it is a word or an expression. It's very, very important.
Yeah.
Okay? I remember in a back exam 1 year, they gave pupils a table and the choice it is, fill in the blanks with one word.
Okay, just one word, okay.
Marital status. In the text, married woman. So the pupil should write married, not married woman. And those who wrote married woman, their answers were considered wrong.
Yes.
Sometimes we lose words, or we lose marks,
Easily.
just because we do
Okay,
not
so
read.
you
Don't read the
You
question.
don't follow the instructions. Okay, so try to follow the instructions given. If you are asked with one word, don't write two words.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so now another type, it is type of text. What type of text it is? Is it argumentative? Is it expository? Is it informative? Huh?
Expository.
Expository.
Yeah,
Always.
if you
Always
Play it safe.
expository. Okay.
Now watch out, okay, for
Yeah.
non-fiction. Okay, for fiction, text based on fiction.
Mhm.
They are not expository, by the way.
Yes.
Huh? Okay, but the rest it is. Okay, all texts are expository. But if the text is based on imaginary events, for example, I think a text talking about life on another
Mars,
planet.
Yes, on another planet.
Is it expository? It cannot be expository, okay? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Good. Okay, so we'll leave the other types of questions to the other.
Now we'll give
session.
examples
Yeah.
about, okay, the other types of questions, okay? And see how we can
Deal with them.
deal with them. So please, to sum up what we said, okay? Read the text first. See which clues can help you to understand the text. See whether the sentence tone is positive or negative. In a paragraph, read the first sentence. The paragraph is made up of one idea.
Yes.
For questions, you must quote. I think you must. I say you must, because it is the safest way to get the mark. Yeah, and only for certain questions where you are asked to paraphrase or rephrase or your point of view. It is the last.
The last question.
Yeah, the
Question.
reaction question.
Okay.
The last question is a reaction one. Okay. So now, Rida, we come to the end of our program. Join us next time, same place, same frequencies. Thank you for listening.
And thank you
again,
Bassam,
thank
for
you.
your help.
Yes.
Hussam, thank you
Hussam.
very much for your help. We are getting old, Hussam, so we make.
Okay, so we also thank our dear students, Mohammed Saleh and Safa, for their valuable participation. And we thank our listeners too. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's our pleasure.
Bye.
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 See you.
بالتعاون مع المندوبية الجهوية للتربية بتطاوين، إذاعة تطاوين تقدم إذاعة الباكالوريا. إذاعة الباكالوريا اليوم مادة الأنقليزية مع الأستاذين رضا بوعيش وصالح جاجة.